Sometimes we think that to change our lives, we need something truly grand, a big opportunity, a turning point, or some kind of miraculous moment. But the truth is much simpler than that. Life is not built from rare breakthroughs, but from the small things we repeat every single day. A good habit can lift us up. A bad habit can pull us down, and both quietly shape our future, day by day, hour by hour. Have you ever wondered why some people seem to improve little by little every day, while others stay stuck in the same place, even though they started from the same point? The answer often lies in the smallest things: how they start their mornings, how much time they give to themselves, or simply the way they choose to do it right now instead of saying, "I will do it tomorrow." Today's story is about Ethan, a young man who once lived in procrastination and daydreams, believing that one day, somehow, life would just change on its own. But no one can truly change unless they start with themselves. And by the end of this story, you will understand why the smallest daily habits can create the biggest life transformations. Maybe just a few minutes you spend listening today could be the very beginning of your own change. Ethan lived in a small town where every morning began with the sound of church bells echoing across peaceful streets. He was not unintelligent, in fact. Ethan learned quickly, and he had many bold dreams and ideas. He often told his friends, "One day, I will do something truly meaningful." But that one day never came. Every morning, Ethan woke up full of energy, ready to learn a new skill, start running, or finish that half-read book. But just a few hours later, all those plans disappeared among short videos, text messages, and the comforting thought that it is fine to do it tomorrow. Days passed, months passed, and he still had not completed anything real. Ethan was not lazy on purpose. He simply lacked discipline. And more importantly, he had not yet realized the true value of time. Whenever his parents reminded him, he just smiled and said, "I know, but now is not the right time." When his teacher told him to focus more, he would reply, "I will start when I feel motivated." And so he lived in a loop of intentions without action, of dreams without beginnings. Deep down, Ethan knew he could do better. But every time he thought about changing, he felt afraid of failing, afraid of not being good enough, afraid that he would give up halfway again. Ethan believed that to succeed, people had to do great things, while he felt too small to do anything great. So he chose to wait for the right opportunity, to wait for a freer tomorrow, to wait for inspiration to come back. And while he was still waiting, life quietly went on. One autumn afternoon, as the last sunlight stretched over the red rooftops, Ethan wandered through the park near his school. He felt tired of himself, tired of unfinished plans, tired of days passing without change. On an old wooden bench by the lake, an elderly man with silver hair was reading a book. His eyes were kind, and his face carried the calmness of someone who had lived a long life. Ethan nodded politely and sat down on the bench next to him. Seeing the boy deep in thought, the old man smiled and said, "What are you thinking about, young man? You look far away." Ethan sighed. "I do not know. I want to do so many things, but I never seem to start. People tell me I lack discipline, but I just do not know where to begin." The old man nodded gently, gazing at the lake where a few leaves floated slowly on the surface. "Do you know the secret of successful people?" Ethan looked up, curious. The man spoke slowly. "Success does not come from doing big things in a single day. It comes from the small things you repeat every day, even when no one notices, even when no one praises you." Seeing Ethan still silent, he began to tell a story. Many years ago, there was a farmer who planted a small bamboo seed in his garden. Every day, he watered and cared for it, but for an entire year, nothing grew above the ground. 2 years passed, then 3, and still, it was just an empty patch of land. The neighbors laughed at the farmer. "You are wasting your time," they said. "That tree will never grow." But the farmer did not give up. He kept believing, and he kept caring for it day after day, patiently and quietly. Then, in the 5th year, something miraculous happened. Within only 6 weeks, the bamboo shot up more than 65 feet high, which is about 20 meters. Everyone was stunned and asked him, "How did it grow so fast?" The farmer smiled and replied, "It did not grow in just 6 weeks. It spent 5 years growing its roots deep into the ground, preparing for the moment it could finally reach the sky." The old man turned to Ethan, his eyes gentle and full of understanding. "You see, life is the same way. The small things you do today may not bring results right away, but each little step you take is a root of success. If you are not patient enough to plant and nurture those roots, then no bamboo will ever grow in your life." Ethan sat in silence. As the golden sunset shimmered across the lake, he suddenly realized that all this time he had been searching for a miracle, while the true miracle was hidden in the small things he had always ignored. That night, Ethan went home with the story of the bamboo still echoing in his mind. He sat by the window, looking out at the night sky, where the moonlight fell softly over the rooftops. For the first time in years, he did not rush to grab his phone, did not turn on music or games. Instead, he just sat there quietly and thought, "Maybe I am like that bamboo seed," Ethan whispered to himself. "I have been waiting too long to see myself grow tall, but I have never taken the time to grow deep roots." He realized that for so many years he had been living inside an illusion of tomorrow. He wanted change, but was afraid to start small. He wanted success, but feared doing things that did not show results right away. And so, that fear became invisible chains, holding him captive inside procrastination. Ethan opened an old notebook he once meant to use as a journal. The first page was still blank. He wrote a single line, "Today I begin with one small thing." He did not know why, but just writing those words made him feel lighter inside. He finally understood that he did not need to do anything grand right away. What mattered was simply starting even with one tiny step. The next morning, Ethan woke up earlier than usual. There was no magic, no sound of victory music. It was just another morning. Yet the sunrise looked warmer, the air felt fresher. Perhaps because, for the first time, Ethan had chosen to change something in his own life. He remembered the teacher's words, "The small things you do today are the roots of tomorrow." And in that quiet moment, Ethan knew. This was the beginning of his new journey. From the day he met the old man in the park, Ethan began his journey of change. Not through big dramatic plans, but through simple, everyday habits. At first, everything felt awkward and clumsy, but step by step, he started to feel the difference. Habit number 1, waking up 1 hour earlier each day. At the beginning, it was hard. When the alarm went off, he just wanted to hit the snooze button. But Ethan remembered the teacher's words, "Whoever masters their morning, masters their day." So he tried first 10 minutes, then 20, then a full hour. During that time, he did not rush to grab his phone. He read a few pages of a book, planned his day, and little by little, he felt more in control of his life. Habit number 2, reading every day. Ethan used to think reading was only for people with too much free time. But after just 1 week of reading 10 pages every night, he felt his mind expand little by little. Books helped him understand how people think, what success really means. And most importantly, they helped him understand himself. A month later, Ethan finished his first book without giving up halfway. He smiled to himself. I used to think I could never do this, he thought. But maybe this is exactly how small things create big change. Habit number 3, setting small goals. Instead of writing endless plans that he would never actually follow through, Ethan started small, writing 200 words a day, exercising for 10 minutes, and finishing one task before starting another. Each small victory made him feel more confident. Those tiny successes slowly built into powerful momentum. Habit number 4, no procrastination. Ethan knew his biggest enemy was the phrase, "I will do it later." So whenever that thought appeared, he counted down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and he started immediately. That single, simple act helped him overcome the hardest part, the beginning. Habit number 5, practicing gratitude. Before going to bed, Ethan wrote down 3 things he was grateful for that day. A warm meal, a kind friend, or simply a clear blue sky in the morning. The more he wrote, the lighter his heart felt. He realized that life had never lacked beauty. He just had never paused long enough to notice it. Habit number 6, exercising every day. No gym, no fancy equipment, just a few simple moves in his room. At first, he only did it half-heartedly, but soon, the burst of energy made him actually enjoy it. A stronger body gave him a steadier mind. Ethan understood then. To change your mind, you must first move your body. Habit number 7, limiting phone time. This was the hardest habit for Ethan to build. He used to scroll through social media for hours without realizing it. So he set a rule for himself, 30 minutes of entertainment per day, no more. The rest of his time he used for studying, writing, and thinking. Every night, when he put his phone away, he felt just a little more in control of his own life. Day by day, these small actions began to connect, like bricks forming a new foundation within Ethan's soul. No one praised him, no one even noticed. But deep down, he knew his life was truly changing. 3 months passed since the day Ethan began that journey. There was no magic, no applause, no cheering crowds, just early mornings, half-read books, and lines of handwriting filling his small notebook. Yet something extraordinary started to happen. Ethan realized he was no longer the same person he once was. He was more alert, more focused, and most importantly, he valued his time. Each morning, as the sun began to rise, Ethan sat at his desk and wrote down a few small goals for the day. He no longer looked for inspiration somewhere far away. He found it in the tiny progress he made every single day. At school, his grades slowly improved. His teachers began to notice the change, and his friends, the same ones who once thought he was just a dreamer, now came to ask how he managed to stay focused and disciplined. Ethan only smiled and said, "There is no secret. I just try to do one small thing right every day and never give up." He realized that real change does not come from sudden bursts of inspiration, but from consistent actions, even the smallest ones. When we stay persistent, those small actions turn into habits. And once good habits take root, life naturally transforms. Ethan remembered the image of the bamboo from the old story. 5 years to grow its roots, then only 6 weeks to rise high and touch the sky. He suddenly understood. The time when we think nothing is happening is often when we are actually growing the most. From then on, Ethan carried with him a priceless lesson. Success is not a destination, it is the result of small, steady steps we take each day. No one can see the roots while they are growing, but if we keep nurturing them, one day, they will lift us higher than we ever believed possible. Ethan no longer waited for a big opportunity or a stroke of luck. He simply chose to plant his own bamboo seed. Through small habits, steady actions, and days lived with purpose. Years later, Ethan had become a completely different person. Calm, disciplined, and strong-willed. He was no longer the young man who once dreamed about someday, because he had learned how to turn every single today into a chance to move forward. Now, Ethan is someone many people admire. Not because he is rich or famous, but because he kept his promise to himself. The promise that he would never let a single day pass without meaning. When someone asked him, "What is the secret to your success?" Ethan simply smiled and said, "There is no secret. I just choose to do one small thing right every day, and I do not give up, even when no one sees it and no one believes in it." Then he added, "Do not wait for a big opportunity to change your life. Start with something small. Wake up a little earlier, read a few pages, turn off the notifications on your phone, or simply finish one thing you have been putting off. Because a tiny seed you plant today could become an entire forest tomorrow." Ethan knew that not everyone begins with the same advantages, but everyone can begin with one small step. And that is the message he wanted to share with everyone listening to his story. If you ever find yourself like Ethan, knowing you need to change but not yet taking that first step, take this as your sign. Do not wait until you feel ready. Because change begins at the exact moment you say, "I will do it right now." If this story has touched you, share one small habit that you want to start today. Who knows, your story might inspire someone out there. Do not forget to like, share this video, and subscribe to Journey to Greatness, a place where every small story carries a great lesson about discipline, determination, and personal growth. Because sometimes just one story can awaken a soul that has been asleep. Be patient, stay grateful, and keep planting your seeds. Because one day, those tiny seeds you nurture today will grow into the shade that shelters your life.